More than 25 years ago, I bought my first car. It was a used car. I didn't want to buy a new car. I didn't want to crash it. This used car already had 100,000 kilometers. Yet, it was awesome once I fixed it. It gave me more than 100,000 kilometers. It was a fast gas-powered vehicle. Today, we have computers on wheels. That's what we're driving today. 1.5 billion cars are running in the world, mostly in Asia, America, and Europe. The automotive industry is going through a huge transformation, akin to the transformation 100 years ago, when Henry Ford said, you can have any car you want, as long as it is black. Today, cars are connected. 4G now, 5G more and more. Now they have access to the internet, to infotainment, information. Cars are now becoming autonomous. From L0 to L5, we're aspiring to move forward the chain. Cars also become part of a service economy. We share cars. We subscribe to services, creating opportunities for OEMs, car manufacturers. And finally, cars are becoming electric. That's a far cry from the car that I had 25 years ago. So these changes obviously need technology. They need a tech stack. And it has to be a tech stack that can support the newest technologies such as artificial intelligence, edge computing, cloud computing, and the analysis of the data that is going to be generated by these cars. Imagine computers. They were available for 80 years. Back in the 1940s, these initial computers were as big as this building. When you turn on a computer, the lights of the city would flicker. But imagine a transformation 40 years ago, when these computers became interconnected. Suddenly, a new world of opportunities came. Because even though the information was available at universities, investigation centers, it wasn't easy to access. The internet opened a world of opportunities for people all over the world. And that's what is happening now with cars. Now cars become connected, creating opportunities we cannot even imagine now. 5G is the enabler. The data that we need to transmit to be able to help a driver to manage to go from point A to point B, it's a lot. It cannot be managed by 3G. It cannot be managed by 4G, only with limited applications so far. If we want to go to the future of autonomy driving, we have to think about connectivity that is going to be powerful enough. And it's an evolution. Back in the 90s, I remember my first cell phone, the size of a shoebox. Yet, it gave me such big applications like phone calling and text messaging. That was amazing. Far cry from the smartphones that we have today. Yet, the evolution never stopped. And now, 5G, the connectivity that is now helping us to connect with the world, comes to our cars. And we need that. We need faster speeds. We need lower latency. If I want to start a movie in my computer, I don't want to be waiting even a second. I would like this movie to start right away. And that's low latency. And at the same time, there are going to be so many cars connected. There are going to be smartphones connected too. There are going to be many other devices in this IoT world that is coming to our lives that we need this density of devices. And for that, 5G offers an alternative. So speed, low latency, and this high density are three key elements that come to the automotive industry and will allow this famous V2X connectivity. The vehicle now becomes this computer running around, and therefore it needs to be connected. Connected to the network, connected to other vehicles, connected to the infrastructure available in smart cities, and connected to pedestrians. Why do I need to connect to the network? If I need an update, a map update, for example. Why do I need to connect to another vehicle? I don't want to be too close to another vehicle. Why do I need to connect to infrastructure? The lights might change. There might be a change in patterns. And why do I need to connect with a pedestrian? Because he or she might not see that I'm getting close to that person. So for that to work, 5G is the enabler. 5G will support this connectivity across the world. Not only that, 5G is also going to allow us to do data processing and data analytics. Think about the capabilities of the computer. 25 years ago, it could only make phone calls. Today, your telephone allows you to download any type of application in seconds. That's what cars will become too. Our mobile living room, our mobile home, our mobile office. And if I need an application at this very moment, I'll go to an app store and be able to download that application in my car right away. The information that the car is collecting driving around the city will also be sent to the municipality, because that information, it's now part of data that can be used by OEMs to train its systems for autonomous driving. This continual machine learning process allows to incorporate these extreme cases. If you have a truck, driving a highway is very predictable. Once you get off the highway, now the challenges start, because you will see more cars, you will see pedestrians, and that's where the real challenge comes. These cases, edge cases, come in the cities. And that's what this AI needs to understand. And for that, it needs data. So the data that I'm collecting in my ride helps improve the ride experience for myself and for other drivers in the future. The dream of autonomous driving is coming soon. For now, most of the available models only incorporate L3 level autonomy, which means that I still have to be close to the steering wheel. That's great progress from L0, which means no computing at all, but nonetheless, still far from L5. Technology needs to improve. Regulation has to improve. Insurance mechanisms have to be put in place. So we're in that path. And to get there, we will need 5G to allow us not only to use the sensors that a car has, LiDAR, radar, but also to use the wealth of information that comes by connecting with other vehicles, pedestrians, infrastructure, and permanent access to the network. That's what's going to make the dream of autonomous driving possible. Edge computing will be an important application, meaning that most of the applications for a car will be in the cloud, far away, nonetheless connected easily to the car. That being said, there are some applications that are very important, and that means that the chips in the cars will need to do processing. So latency is very, very small. Imagine I'm driving a car, 3 hours. I might get a bit sleepy. I need a system in the car to tell me, wake up, don't fall asleep, take a break, rest. You might get into an accident. And it is true that more than the hundreds of thousands of accidents happen because of human mistakes that can be helped with technology. In the same way, cars will become these metaverse-like worlds, because these screens, these virtual reality screens, will appear in front of you by the windshield. So you will have a higher resolution map of the path ahead. That's only available if you think about 5G, because the requirements of data transmitted between the car and the network are so huge that current connectivity with 4G or past systems, it's impossible to manage. Innovation never stops. In the same way that 12 years ago, we didn't think about applications of 4G, we'll see that now there will be coming new applications for 5G. Something that we cannot even imagine at this very moment. Assuming that you were in a meeting and then you had dinner, you had some drinks, and you cannot drive your car back home. What do? You want to take your car. You get a driver. What about if there's no driver available? Well, a driver is going to be able to take control of your car and drive you safely home. This driver might be anywhere in the world to take you safely home. So when you think about technology as taking jobs from people, I want you to think that anything is happening because of technology. So while it's true that some jobs eventually will be transformed with technology, it is also true that technology will create new opportunities. Somebody has to develop these great technologies. Somebody has to test these technologies. Today, OEMs, telecoms, chip companies, media companies are testing 5G. And they want to be part of this world. When you drive your car, they want to be there. At the end of the day, it's going to be increased business for them. It used to be that you sold a car, you forgot about your customer. You didn't even know who was your customer. Today, buying a car is just the beginning of a relationship, because now you get to know your customer. You're going to know what this customer will need over the lifetime of the car, which might be 10 years, 12 years. And that will create opportunities for updates, upgrades, new services, which creates business opportunities. The car, it's becoming now our living room. It's becoming the place where we actually live our lives. If we don't have to drive anymore, then we have plenty of time to do whatever we want to do in the car. We can watch a movie. We can ask ChatGPT to create a poem for me to listen. I can work. I can connect with people. I can make video calls. So that means that my car is now becoming much more than the vehicle taking me from point A to point B. My life is transformed. And that means that 5G services will be important for me, and also important for the OEMs, suppliers, media companies, chip companies, telecom companies, the whole industry, creating opportunities for further economic development. So it's time for all of us to embrace 5G as an enabler of digital transformation. My name is Edgar Perez, and I'm looking forward to continue inspiring you about the future today.